Hi, I'm Daniel.
We are students from University Tenaga Nasional and we are here to introduce to you our program Time for Nature.
You know global warming is the latest alarm bell for the Earth environment?
Global warming is alarming because of its adverse effects on the ecological balance of the Earth, such as the increase in sea level, glacier melting, changes in pattern of rainfalls, and heat waves.
In addition, scientists agree that today's global warming is primarily caused by humans putting too much carbon in the atmosphere, like when we choose to extract and burn coal, oil, gas, or cut down and burn forests.
We know global warming is the buzzword of almost all environmental talks, projects, and discussions.
Therefore, our group decided to do our part in saving the environment by organizing a virtual talk to help in reviving the environment and awareness about global warming as well as still maintaining proper conduct during this dreadful pandemic.
Make sure to wear a mask when you go outside. I'm looking at you, Mira.
Back to our main point.
And the environmental awareness, we must first understand the environmentalist movement. Environmentalism is the ideology that evokes the responsibility and necessity of humans to respect, protect, and preserve the natural world from its anthropogenic afflictions.
Henceforth, we invited speakers who are the most qualified individuals to help spread this ideology.
Who, you might ask?
Our first panelist and speaker, Boshaga Ravichandran, our very own senior and undergraduate in civil engineering. Currently, he is pursuing his bachelor's in the US. His achievements, among others, becoming the founder and also director of the project newspaper. He is an individual who is incredibly passionate on social issues such as plastic pollution, environment, and also poverty.
Our second panelist is Aidil Iman Aidit, aka Sunflower Aidil. He is the wildlife conservation volunteer for the Gibbon Protection Society Malaysia and has also made a big name in social media. Aidil is constantly looking for new challenges to apply his passion for environmental protection within career spaces.
I think that's an extensive and comprehensive enough of introduction. Shall we head on to their talks?
Make yourself comfortable and grab a box of popcorn and enjoy the talk. Psst. Make sure to stay till the end of the video for a huge surprise. See you later!
Hi, my name is Boshaga and I'm excited to share with you little bits of information which I hope you might find useful. Well, Barack Obama once said, "Change will not come if we wait for some other person. Change will not come if we wait for another time. We are the ones we've been waiting for, and we are the change that we seek." I was born in Kedah and grew up in Klang, Selangor, so I had the opportunity to learn how to live in a multitude of places. I remember one time when I was there, I was about 15, and I noticed kids playing around in a sandy beach, but it was strewn with plastic, anywhere from bottles to plastic bags. It was at that time I thought to myself, wow, such an incredible, beautiful environment is being destroyed solely for the sake of profit, for the sake of building up more hotels, and for the comfort of people, while neglecting the very reason that place existed. That was when I realized, okay, let's try to do something about this. That was when I knew we needed to be the change we seeked. It feels amazing and it feels inspiring. That's important because that milestone of achieving the Malaysia Book of Records meant that we could do so much more. Here we are, a bunch of students who just entered into the university world, and we knew a thing or two about organizing events, but now we're organizing something at such an incredible scale It seemed unrealistic that it could not be pulled off. But looking back in hindsight, it's definitely a truly inspiring event. Now, how is the journey? I could describe it to you in a long fashion. There's a lot of things that happened, but let me simplify it. It was about in August where I coined the idea. I thought, hey, let's organize an event, something different where we could promote environmentalism, but at the same time, let's try to do something where, it's a bit challenging. Let's try to get a record, a national record for this. At that time, it seemed a little crazy, it seemed a little far-fetched, so we couldn't do it. And I remember Madam Ida asked me once, Bosch, can we really do this? And knowing that our team was strong, I said confidently, yes, we can. And indeed, it happened. Some of the setbacks included things like, how do you contact the Malaysia Book of Records? Who do you talk to? How much would it cost? Where would you get the money? How many volunteers would you need? So these were tons of questions that we needed to answer. And fortunately, we went through them. So in the end, when we received the Malaysia Book of Records certificate, that felt incredibly sweet. The weight of every single person behind that. Well, there really needs to be three major things. The first is having a sense of purpose and vision. When you look back, a month has passed by, 6 months has passed by, or even a year. 2020 is almost coming to an end. So you need to have a vision. You need to know, okay, I want to do this. Just keep it at the back of your mind. And sooner or later, ideas will start popping up. And you will know, okay, this might actually work. Let's see what we can do about that. The point is, whenever you want to navigate somewhere, you got to have the destination. It does not matter which route you take. You will find a way to reach your destination. If you don't have that, you'll be stranded. That's the first. Number two is you need to know that what's possible, what's not. Even as I was going through, my team was going through, a lot of people told us, no, it's not possible. The fact that it's hard is what makes it so beautiful. The fact that it's difficult makes it more rewarding in the end. So whether or not it is successful, whether or not it's possible, let yourself decide. And the third is trust. You have to have trust in yourself with your abilities. You might not need to know, you might not know everything, you might not know how to do certain things, but you can definitely learn along the way. And trust in your team members. There's a lot. Okay, let's see. Always be curious, right? Most people like to do it ABC. What's wrong with doing it ACB? What's wrong in doing it in a different way? So always be curious. Never take the standards as the only way possible. Try believing that another solution could exist. Another path is always there. Be curious, ask questions. That's the first. Second, always be brave, right? I know a lot of people who have incredible skills, but sometimes when I talk to them, even myself, there's always this lingering doubt at the back of your mind, wondering, hey, is this idea even possible? Or is this idea something that might have any value? Should I speak it out or should I not say a word? Remember that in order for you to make one step forward, you have to be brave to put the next step. Be brave, put it out. It does not matter if it's right or wrong. What matters is you tried. That's number two. And I would the last recommendation I would probably give is that Reach out to others for help, especially when you need it. You never know how things could play out, but when you need help, always ask. A lot of people are willing to help you out.
Hi there, my name is Aidileman bin Aidit. I am 21 years old this year. I just recently finished my diploma in mass communications at Segi University, and I definitely plan to pursue a degree, preferably in social sciences, majoring in development planning and management. I would pretty much say that I am an activist for environmental justice and climate action. What inspired me was that I saw the direct link between human rights and problems related to the environment. For example, we are seeing the effects of climate change unfairly impacting marginalized and vulnerable groups such as poor people, coastal communities, indigenous groups, and women. And we can also see that some countries, which happens to be developing nations or poor nations or small island developing states, face harsher challenges when it comes to climate change. They have to face extreme weather, they have to face rising sea levels, and even climate migration. So there is a sense of unfairness when it comes to climate change. And when I saw this link between human rights and environmental issues, I definitely wanted to pursue a career where I can tackle both climate change and alleviate poverty. Because to have a conversation about climate change is also to have a conversation about economic inequality. And I think that's very important because Malaysians always see that when it comes to environment, it only impacts perhaps indigenous groups or wildlife and their habitats. But the thing is, nature itself provides the sustenance we need, such as clean air, water, and so on. I think that was the one that made me more aware and want to participate in climate activism, in advocating for environmental justice. In terms of volunteering, I am currently attached to My Hutan, which is a movement powered by Undi 18. Our focus is to institutionalize forest conservation in Malaysia. Right now, because of the pandemic, it's hard to engage physically. Our approach so far has been on social media. So I think my role in My Hutan is definitely to get younger people to engage with our platform, with our movement through the use of social media. And due to the restrictions of COVID-19, social media has been giving such a inclusive platform for us to have a conversation about forest conservation, climate change, and so on. Other than that, I've volunteered for some NGOs like Gibbon Conservation Society, where I stayed in Raub for 1 week to help rehabilitate rescued gibbons. I've helped volunteer at our National Zoo for some time last year, and I do enjoy helping out at local animal shelters as well. What kind of things that university students can do to foster such a mindset towards environmentalism is definitely awareness. Awareness is so important. When you talk to your friends about climate change, they would be inspired to make an impact that is personal. But when you engage with your family, with people outside your circle, the message about climate change becomes bigger. So definitely awareness is important. I would also want to say that it's important for university students to mobilize youth-led actions towards environmental issues. There are many NGOs and many movements such as My Hutan, Malaysian Youth Delegation, WWF, Malaysian Nature Society, Climate Action. These are NGOs that are mobilizing youth to the center to discuss about environmental issues. Another thing that I would love for younger generations to do, for students in universities to participate, is to make conversations about climate change or other environmental issues more inclusive. This means that whatever you're sending is not restricted only to urban people. You need to make sure that indigenous groups are participating in your discussion. You need to make sure that women and girls are involved in making decisions for the environment. You have to make sure that persons with disabilities are involved as well. It's important when it comes to activism that inclusion must be prioritized, because everyone lives on this planet and you want everyone's perspectives. So it would be nice to have a wide array of opinions that can work together in terms of policies, in terms of advocacy, that can tackle those problems one by one. Another recommendation that I would give to Uniten is definitely youth mobilization. You need to empower each other in terms of climate action or in terms of discussions on environmental issues. It's important that we listen to each other and that our voices are being heard by those in positions of power. Like I said, we are living in a failed system where older generations have failed to tackle climate change and sustainable development. They have failed to do that. So it's important that younger people take a step further to advocate for these kind of things. We are seeing waves of youth from all around the world protesting on the streets. We are seeing Fridays for Future, the youth protesting in Indonesia, Hong Kong, and Thailand. We need to be inspired by these kind of movements and do it within our own capacity. If we cannot protest on the streets, we have to do the protest digitally, where our voices are being heard by ministers, by politicians, by senators, by MPs. It's important for them to listen to young people because it is our future here at stake. And it's important for Uniten students to know that it is possible in a world where we work together with nature rather than against it.
Gosh, wasn't that a great talk? I hope you, from behind the screen, enjoyed it as much as we did.
Environmental awareness is an integral part of the movement's success. By teaching our friends and family that the physical environment is fragile and indispensable, we can begin fixing the problems that threaten it.
You can make a difference. Instead of driving to work or school, take the bus, carpool, walk, or drive your bike to cut down the greenhouse gas emissions.
Buy reusable products such as glass bottles, reusable bags, and reusable cups.
Avoid buying disposable goods such as plastic bottles, plastic bags, and also paper towels.
Start composting and recycling. It will help cut down those waste production.
Support local businesses and farmers by buying their organic and pesticide-free food when you can, or start your own community garden.
Little small things really do make such a huge difference, and this is kind of the issue with environmental problems because it has a long-lasting impacts and it has long-reaching impacts as well. Not only just immediate things where you see rubbish on the ground and you don't like the look of it, but then obviously everything has a domino effect.
Before we end our video, remember our promised surprise? COVID-19 has brought a lot of disheartening moments to various people, including butterfly sanctuaries and farms. The nation embroiled in serious battles with COVID-19, the sanctuaries' only income was lost and their team was torn apart by the movement control order imposed by the Malaysian government since 18 March 2020. Butterfly eggs were left uncollected. Host plants were drying up fast, producing insufficient leaves to feed the ongoing population of the butterfly larvae. as the situation became increasingly dire and emotional decisions were made which marked the darkest days of the sanctuary. 3,000 butterfly larvae were euthanized.
Our team wanted to lend a hand in saving the nature's angels by letting you guys adopt them.
We prepared a quiz and we will choose the top 5 winners to receive a butterfly chrysalis in a jar for you to adopt.
These butterfly chrysalises were raised from the moment they hatch from their tiny eggs. Each of them tells the story of the dedicated farmers and staff throughout this metamorphosis. You will get to witness your own pupa turn into a butterfly yourself and set them free to continue to fly and colour the world again.
Like a butterfly stuck in a chrysalis waiting the perfect moment, we are waiting for the day where we could burst forth and find our own purpose in life.
On top of that, we will also pick 10 more winners from the quiz to receive prizes and e-certificates too.
Everyone, please quickly click on the link and stand a chance to be our top 15 winners. Time has come for us to part ways. Remember, the movement of saving the environment comes from ourselves. For others to begin the initiative. Start first and surely everyone will follow.
Thank you very much for joining us. Goodbye and take care.